Dedicated student musicians rehearse at an average of 3 to 4 hours a day. They place their bodies under great stress and often maintain awkward body positions with little rest. Eventually, muscles become overly fatigued and soft tissues break down, predisposing them to stress and overuse injuries. Though musicians are often unaware of the similarities, they each perform a skill that requires strength, coordination, and flexibility, all of the components of a true athlete. Most musicians do not realize the importance of proper physical conditioning. However, music students need to train for playing their instruments just as athletes train for competition. Also, musicians are often unfamiliar with injury prevention techniques. Athletes, on the other hand, develop a great sense of body awareness because they train rigorously to meet the physical demands they place on their bodies. Often, musicians do not feel they have the time for regular exercise.
I used to last year, but this year I kind of ran out of time.
Not when I'm at school. Aerobic exercise, I don't really get a chance to.
Tried working out, but I got bored with it.
No, I don't have the time.
Not only do they neglect physical conditioning, but in many cases, musicians are unaware of the concepts of interval training and the techniques of stress management. Like athletes, musicians are deeply affected emotionally as well as physically when injuries do occur.
I had to stop because I hurt a few ligaments in my hand, and it was causing excruciating pain, so I couldn't play in orchestra rehearsals or any solo literature. It was probably one of the toughest times I've been through, because that was 95% of my life. It was what I had given my entire time to and hoped to become a really fine musician. And to take 3 months out of that was very difficult. My studies suffered, my relationships with other people suffered. I was very unhappy a lot of the time.
When an athlete is injured, even slightly, a trainer is immediately accessible to consult with. Evaluation and treatment begin immediately. Musicians are not as fortunate. They have no injury protocol. Often, they don't know what to do or who to turn to when they hurt. Minor injuries go untreated as they play through pain, leading to chronic, more serious conditions. As many as 75% of musicians have been injured. Many artists have been affected at least 4 times in their careers. For those who seek physical therapy, the recovery can be dramatic. Like an athlete, the educated musician will benefit by warming up before a practice or performance.
Before my injury, I probably warmed up about 5 minutes. Now I warm up 30 minutes, so there's quite a big difference between that. Doing the regimen of warm-ups has helped my playing immensely. The warm-up exercises made my tone much more clear, the facility of my technique much more clear. Through doing the stretches in proper warm-up technique and being really focused in my practice time and, condensing it down to something much smaller than it used to be, the pain is much more minimal than it ever has been.
From the time of that first lesson, musicians are told, practice makes perfect. Since musicians are athletes too, their motto should be, practice and physical training makes perfect.